Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. This is Smackdown Live. We are some days away, I imagine, from Backlash. Who knows at this point? Could be 2, could be 1, could be 6 weeks. We'll never know. But we're here tonight for the final show before the pay-per-view, and we have a big one for you here tonight. Big matches all over the shop. It was such a big show that even the competition has snuck in to have a little peek. And the competition being the Raw General Manager, Dauro Ronaldo.
That is me.
See, he's here to see these big matches, like how we're going to kick things off on SmackDown Live with Kyle O'Reilly and Kevin Owens going one-on-one. These two men have different matches at the pay-per-view, but they're going to clash here tonight, and so is this one, a rematch from Battleground. It is the Best versus the Beast, Brock Lesnar and CM Punk, to go one-on-one. Punk has got Bobby Fish to deal with this Sunday, but right now he's got something far bigger on his hands in Brock Lesnar. In tonight's main event, it is going to be a huge one. Will Punk be anywhere near 100% heading into Backlash? We'll find out. Fish, along with speak of him, here he is.
Hey,
well,
so
that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't really happen to Raw too often, I wouldn't say.
Well, he's jumped the gun. He's decided to have a few words to say to get everyone remembering Bobby Fish ahead of this Sunday. And maybe in regards to last week as well, himself and Roman Reigns suffering losses to CM Punk and Kenny Omega. And he is bringing it up right away. And you can see the confidence raining from him here. He thinks he is far better than CM Punk ever believes, paling in comparison to what Brock Lesnar could manage here tonight. And Bobby Fish just believes he is above and beyond everyone else. Look at this, he's just listing off everyone who he's better than in his mind.
Yeah, it's some rough words from this guy.
And his attention is for the entire Dangerous Alliance, it seems. A warning to Kenny Omega that Omega will not walk out of Backlash with the Intercontinental Championship either. Believing them to be the greatest faction of all time. I assume some kind of dig at the Bullet Club and a dig at Omega as well. Kissing goodbye and goodnight. And taking umbrage really at Punk being a veteran within this business. And telling them to bow to the king. Man, this guy could not be further up his own arse if he tried.
Yeah, he could back it up though, can he?
Well, I mean, yeah, the 15 combined months as WWE Champion kind of speak for themselves. No one has come close to that in this universe. No one even touches a year. He excels it. And anyway, here's a man who, of course, he has had a very storied past with Kyle O'Reilly. Coming towards the ring to start things off by taking on Kevin Owens.
So is there any bit of backstory between these two men, or?
Well, these two men did face at Battleground for the WWE Championship, but right now it is about getting the momentum over one another heading into this Sunday. Kyle O'Reilly will go one-on-one with Rusev. Kevin Owens goes one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. O'Reilly will not be the only one of that match in action. Rusev will be taking on Kenny Omega later on tonight, but Shinsuke Nakamura is not here tonight. So Kevin Owens can try and use this to the best of his advantage, try and tear apart Kyle O'Reilly to send that message to Shinsuke Nakamura. Either way, both matches this Sunday are going to be knockdown, drag 'em up brawls.
And I could buy into that. That doesn't seem too bad. You know.
And this is where one of the most respected men previously on the SmackDown roster makes his way out. Kevin Owens, once beloved by all, once admired by men on the SmackDown roster, now looked down upon. Now seen as the very thing he swore to fight against. A man who only cares about himself and what is in the future for Kevin Owens. Putting Finn Balor on the shelf about a month ago at this point. Kevin Owens has stopped at nothing to make sure his messages get across. His demand for respect and to be seen and to be treated Much the same as Bobby Fish looks to be treated as the greatest there is.
Well, then I guess the only next thing I could bring into is who do you see having the upper hand going into this?
Well,
That's-
what,
as far
between
as-
Owens and Nakamura or this match?
This match right here, as far as momentum and how these two men have been doing in the past weeks.
Kind of evenly split. Owens last week, though, did have a part to play, did stand tall over Nakamura after his victory over Rusev. He floored him with a pop-up powerbomb. No, didn't he? Floored him with a landslide, taking a bit of satire towards Shinsuke Nakamura himself. So Kevin Owens kind of has the more momentum. The last time we saw Kyle O'Reilly, his tag team partner Shinsuke Nakamura was submitting to the accolade from Rusev. If I remember correctly, which I feel like I do, I hope. But anyway, we are here tonight, and the last time anyway these two men squared off was a battleground for the WWE Championship, and it was O'Reilly who walked out the victor on that night. They may look to do the same here tonight because his opponent at the pay-per-view, Rusev, is looking mighty good heading into it.
Tell me, why don't you go into a little bit about Rusev?
Oh, good God, what a catch. And what a powerbomb there by Owens. I'll talk more about Rusev later on tonight when he faces the Intercontinental Champion. But as for right now, these two men, this is what SmackDown's all about, kicking things off with the biggest match they can pull out of their pocket. And finishing with just as big as a match as well.
I must say, so far, Kevin Owens really leading the charge here. O'Reilly not getting too much in.
Kevin Owens, this change of attitude has brought about a better, a more aggressive side to Kevin Owens. Rules don't exist to this man. And he'll do anything for victory. I mean, he proved it when he put Finn Balor on the shelf. He just completely ignored the match just so he could powerbomb Finn Balor onto the apron and put him out.
So you're saying Owens, what he brings to the table is that ferocity, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So what can O'Reilly bring to sort of counter that or bring a balance to it, do you think?
His own ferocity as well. I mean, this is a guy who for 2 years was going face to face with Bobby Fish. And it doesn't matter if that's behind him now. He came out on the losing end of it all.
But, even if takes two to tango and whatnot, So, rather than a game of paper, rock, scissors, you might as well say this is like rock, rock, rock.
Yes, these are two rocks fighting each other, just basically trying to see who can chip the most off the other and claim themselves to be the winner.
Oh, wow.
And O'Reilly's going to rely upon his speed and his hard strikes. Kevin Owens will rely upon his strength advantage and his strikes. Owens dumping him there on the apron. Nasty business. There's the complete lack of respect by Owens being shown as he just throws him face first under the apron. An apron, of course, that he has become well accompanied with. Up to the top rope now goes Kevin Owens. Kyle O'Reilly better hope he can get out of the way of this one. Frog splash! And into the cover to try and build momentum on the road to Backlash. Can he put away Kyle O'Reilly? No. The two former WWE champions still going on in this one. In the corner we are now, and Owens, here we go. Cannibal sent on. That's going to do a number on Kyle O'Reilly, and it may well get him the win. There's one, there's two, and O'Reilly, and a very late two, gets his shoulder up. Kevin Owens, well, much to your point, well in control of this matchup.
Agreed,
Kyle O'Reilly needs something desperate, not only to try and fight back in this, but to try and show that he can go toe-to-toe with Rusev this Sunday and try and come out on the upper hand, and this may be it. The former WWE champion now, maybe getting something going for himself.
Yeah, he's pulling it out now, taking a moment of rest. Kind of a bold move, I'd say.
A mistake, I would even argue against. Oh, that was smart by him there. Kevin Owens came running at him, and O'Reilly swept the leg from underneath him.
I'd argue that was kind of intentional, Make your opponent seem like you're not listening,
Oh, but that's the thing with Kyle O'Reilly, a well-vowed student of the game. And look at this, going after the legs of Kevin Owens. This is smart by Kyle O'Reilly.
You'd think it'd end at 3, but that went to about 5 or 6 there.
O'Reilly up on top now. He has turned this match around in a heartbeat for himself. Big time guillotine leg drop.
Perfect execution there.
And now into this leg hook back suplex of his. Beautiful bridge after it. Can he come back and get a big win over Owens? No, KO just kicks at it too.
But you got to think that the impact, he kind of sent Owens right on his neck there.
Oh yeah, Owens is going to be feeling that one. You know, these two men are not going to be going nice on one another. They have their bad blood. Oh, no. There's no need for this.
Setting up for something big.
No, there's no need for this. He put Finn Balor out with this. There's no need for this right now, Kevin Owens. Oh, God. The apron powerbomb.
Looking at a replay of that one, it does not look pretty.
Kyle O'Reilly goes limp after it. Kevin Owens, no need for that. He just did it because he wanted to.
Now just watching him.
Well, O'Reilly's lifeless. He's got nothing.
Well, to his credit, if there's any way to secure a win, I'd say that's it.
Yeah, and if there's any way to secure that Kyle O'Reilly won't be a backlash either, that was it. Into the cover now. For an absolutely sickening win. One, two. What am I looking at? Just to put that in perspective, the last time we saw that, I put Finn Balor on the shelf. As in, we haven't seen him since then.
And O'Reilly's kind of shrugging it off.
I don't think he's shrugging. I think he's trying to fight through it, but I can't imagine he's anywhere near 100%.
Well, of course.
We've seen others go past it in the past. I mean, O'Connor was one of them, but O'Reilly looking for the submission victory.
This could be it.
The armbar stitched in. Imagine how embarrassing it would be for Kevin Owens to tap out here.
The look of agony on Owens' face right now.
Can he find a way out of it as O'Reilly tries to get rid of it? Oh, yes, he can. Just about. And look, you can tell that it has sunk in. Owens leaping up to his feet, and Kyle O'Reilly couldn't respond.
But you got to think, if O'Reilly can get that locked in one more time, that might just be it.
Oh, what's he? Oh, no. Oh, there is no need for this. There's no need for this. Oh, come on. The match result has meant nothing to Kevin Owens, but leaving his mark has done more than enough in his mind, and he's not done yet. More chair shots into Kyle O'Reilly.
That's just
This
deplorable.
is uncalled for, but here comes the cavalry! Shinsuke Nakamura in to make the save.
Oh my God.
Saving Kyle O'Reilly from a feat even worse from Kevin Owens and sending him reeling outside of the ring. Nakamura makes the save tonight, but come this Sunday at Backlash, there'll be no saving one another as Nakamura and Owens will go to war. Complete and utter strike fest between these two. Bad blood reigning when that match comes at Backlash.
Now, that was impressive. That Nakamura is just so fast, man.
Nakamura in to make the save, and we move right along here to the number one contenders for the WWE Tag Team titles. War Machine coming towards the ring. They may well be a few days away, but they said they wanted to fight anyone. And, anyone they are fighting, because now the Bucks are here.
So it's the Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. I know these guys.
The most dangerous tag team in the universe.
Yes.
Getting the jump on War Machine. Before their match this Sunday, War Machine wanted to fight anyone, and the Bucks are blindsided them. Super kick in the ring by Matt Jackson to Hanson.
You know, to the Young Bucks' credit, these are two very large men they just took out with relative ease.
They have snuck up on them ahead of this Sunday, and all the work is going on Hanson right now. Nick Jackson now going after him. And Nick Jackson with a moonsault right through the announce table.
Oh my God.
No calm being shown from the Young Bucks.
Now, I don't show up too often here on Smackdown, but what it seems is the theme of people making sure other people aren't ready for the pay-per-view.
Trying to gain any advantage they can of the champions. Hanson getting up to his feet on the outside. Raymond Rowe fending off both the Bucks here. This attack from behind may well not have gone the way the Bucks wanted, but look at the strength there of Nia Jax with that fireman's carry sent on.
This has got to be horrible for War Machine right now.
The Young Bucks have got their way, and here we go by Nick Jackson. A tombstone to Raymond Rowe. War Machine are left laying at the hands of the Young Bucks. Could the same be said for this Sunday? There's going to be no match. This one is long since out of the way.
Well, you just got to think, War Machine, they had to give it their all tonight rather than at the pay-per-view. That's going to come into play.
I still need a moment to catch up on everything. Smackdown just went from about 0 to 100 to 1 million in about 10 seconds.
And that was really compact. And
well, so hopefully, as this man comes towards the ring, before we get to anywhere, I hope we get an update to the condition of Kyle O'Reilly before this Sunday. That apron powerbomb, especially, and the chair shots that followed into the back were dangerous.
Well, you can only imagine what would happen if Nakamura didn't come in to save O'Reilly's ass.
Oh, I don't think O'Reilly would be here right now. He'd be out.
And shades of Finn Balor.
Yep. Kevin Owens showing no respect ahead of this Sunday, but Nakamura's certainly not going to give him any in their battle. But right now, it is Rusev who can really benefit from this matchup here as he goes one-on-one with the Intercontinental Champion Kenny Omega. He gets ready, of course, to square off against Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash.
And forgive me, I'm still catching up a little bit, but this is Rusev who will be facing O'Reilly.
Yes.
Correct? Oh, wow. Really, so Rusev could take it easy here.
Yeah, he could really just go for an easy... I mean, he can try for an easy victory, but he is in the ring with the King of the Ring, the Intercontinental Champion, leader of the Elite and a former member of the Bullet Club, and Rusev is not taking it easy. Jumping the champion here.
3 matches in a row. Just getting
Complete
straight to the
chaos
point
right now. Smackdown is never usually on this level of chaos before pay-per-view, but it's all gone out of the window here for the final show of 2017.
Intensity set to a 10. Clearly.
I'm surprised, you know, this is the first time you've seen a former Bullet Club member. I'm sure you're keeping that at bay. What you want to say about that?
Well, if you've seen what's happened on Raw recently, or the pay-per-view Armageddon, kind of high spirits about that, but this isn't my show.
There's a time and a place to talk about that, and hopefully it will be next week's Raw, because I don't really want to think about that right now.
Oh, yeah.
We'll swiftly move on from that. And back to this matchup. Anyway, Rusev's got the upper hand on Kenny Omega from the start here. Think about this. This is not just about having a way of getting an easy win this Sunday against O'Reilly, but if you beat the Intercontinental Champion, that changes the game as well.
And a smart play on the part of Rusev here, because he wasn't DQ'd for hitting Omega early.
Nope.
Yeah. Perfectly legal. Makes you think.
Kenny Omega now starting to respond a little bit. The Intercontinental Champion breathing some life.
Yeah. King of the Ring for a reason. Intercontinental Champion for a reason. I'll give it to him.
Strength there of Kenny Omega to hit that, whatever you want to call it, suplex, sit out something or other. And he's got Rusev on the mat right here. Rusev without his wife Lana, because after last week against Shinsuke Nakamura, when she was kind of pivotal to Rusev surviving so long, Rusev said he wanted to do this one alone. He wanted to prove that he can handle the Intercontinental Champion by himself. Whoa. He is kind of proving his value there. Huge strength by Rusev as he goes into the cover now. But Omega still showing a lot of heart.
Being able to manhandle someone even half the size of Kenny Omega is still kind of impressive. So, gotta give that to Rusev.
Kenny Omega still able to fight back a little bit here, and he'll go back to an old favorite. Another DDT there to send Rusev down.
All things considered, this is probably
no! Oh, come on!
This is
Roman Reigns trying to distract Kenny Omega here, and Rusev's going to capitalize. Rusev rolls up Omega here. Could it be a big win for Rusev
1.
before Backlash? No. Omega kept his wits about him, but Roman Reigns is still lurking on the outside. Kenny Omega making sure he gets a front row view of this. Electric chair, German suplex, into the cover now on Rusev, but he's out of 2.
The ease of execution right there by Kenny Omega, even with someone like Roman Reigns at ringside. That's impressive.
Reigns and Omega, of course, as I said, will square off this Sunday for the Intercontinental Championship, and Roman Reigns is trying to get in the head of the champion before this Sunday. This could well change up this entire matchup for Kenny Omega.
But one thing to do take note of is Rusev didn't really capitalize.
Kenny Omega is, I think it's kind of brought out a new level of I guess he's more enraged now at the sight of Roman Reigns at ringside.
This very well might have been the worst. And I think the worst thing for Rusev to do right here is to go all out, whether it's the Intercontinental Champion or not.
Oh, the Machka kick into the back of the head.
We know what comes after that one.
He turned him around and forced him to look at Roman Reigns as he was struck by it, and Reigns was certainly approving of that one. The cover after it, and Omega still able to kick out.
A Machka kick is a devastating kick, but I don't think it's ever going to be enough to the point to put someone away.
Certainly it's not someone like Kenny Omega who's proving his value right here. He is taking it to Rusev right in front of Roman Reigns. And what the hell are we going to see here? Almost colliding into Reigns. He is showing no fear as Kenny Omega inches away from Roman Reigns. Omega will fly. And how about that, Roman Reigns? He is
a perfectly executed suicide dive, and you see Roman Reigns can't really do much more than that right now, can he?
If he hits Omega, he's gonna get Omega the win by disqualification. He wants this matchup to go on as long as possible. Roman Reigns must be frustrated at that, though.
Thing to take note of: when Rusev was sent outside, Roman Reigns didn't care. He's here for Omega.
He's here for Omega. He's here for himself. Rusev is it could be anyone else in the ring, and he wouldn't really care. But Rusev looks ready to try and crush now. The accolade locked in on Omega.
Omega might have to give it up here.
Is this what Roman Reigns? Is this what Roman Reigns will get before this Sunday? A treat in seeing Omega tap out. Omega thinks otherwise.
But you got to think that wrench on the back. You only have so long to recover. And
Omega's gone right back into it, and there's Reigns now getting involved.
I think that was easily a 3 count.
Distracting the referee there, and look at this, right in front of Roman Reigns, staring him in the eyes as he hits the one-winged angel. Not breaking eye contact. This could be the fate of Roman Reigns this Sunday. Kenny Omega, your winner in this one.
And keep in mind, Kenny Omega won this with getting attacked before the match started, and with an interference, quote unquote, by Roman Reigns. That's kind of scary.
Reigns will get him alone this Sunday, and with Roman Reigns' recent momentum, with how well he performed at Survivor Series especially, Kenny Omega could be in trouble. And in the words of Bobby Fish, will he kiss goodbye and good night to his Intercontinental Championship? We'll see on the night, because honestly, it now looks way more split than it did in the first place. That does not mean we are done with Smackdown here tonight. We still have some ways to go. Coming up next now, we're going to move on. It's the women's division match, and it is a big one. Nia Jax to go one-on-one against the #1 contender in Winter.
Whoa, now this Nia Jax girl, I really haven't seen much of her.
Excuse you, don't call her a girl. She's not like most girls.
Okay, I haven't seen much of this beautiful goddess of a woman, Nia Jax. Can you please inform me a bit about what she's been up to?
Nothing. The last time she was seen basically was SummerSlam, so you saw the last time she was around. The division became about Winter wanting to decimate, and well, Nikki Cross showed up at Survivor Series. I know. I've heard you in the background that you were keeping your eyes on Nikki Cross, but she beat you to the punch by going to SmackDown and taking the SmackDown Women's Championship away from Winter at Survivor Series, and has become embroiled between those two. Nikki Cross not going to be here tonight for sure, after she was laid out through a table in the back last week by none other than her number one contender. And it is as a reason because of that this Sunday it is going to be no disqualification between Winter and Nikki Cross when they collide in their rematch.
Sheesh, it almost seems like SmackDown got their hands kind of full with all the women here.
They have a hugely talented division, but it is Winter and Nikki Cross who right now are trying to be the faces of it. And Winter, who especially wants to prove that she is as dominant as ever. Bobby Fish in his own right is a dominant WWE champion. Well, this is basically the Bobby Fish of the women's division.
Sheesh. Not to bring everything towards me, but you know, when the Bullet Club did fall, one of the women to do that was Rosemary.
You mean the only woman to do that was Rosemary?
One of them. Right, so no. Rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gives me flashbacks, kind of comparisons. It's just sort of a devastating force here in both divisions.
Well, you've seen that. Well, you know, Rosemary was before the pay-per-view. Before Paige, she was fighting the likes of Alicia Fox. I mean, she had Gail Kim, but this is the tallest woman in the women's division. This is the heaviest woman in the women's division as a whole. And Winter wants her before this Sunday.
That's... Honestly, I wouldn't say that's too smart, you know, thinking logically, but of course, Winter probably has her reasons.
Oh yeah, she wants to show that she is ever dominant. She wants to show that Nikki Cross has got no chance when that no DQ match comes around.
If you kill the biggest lion, you become the biggest lion. I guess it's sort of that mentality.
Bobby Fish called himself the alpha male earlier. She certainly sees herself as the alpha female, I guess you would say. She certainly sees herself as the lioness of this women's division, and believes that someone who doesn't deserve to be on the throne is currently sitting on it in Nikki Cross.
Oof. Sort of a stiff headbutt to Nia Jax. That takes some, well, guess that doesn't work here.
Winter is just, I mean, she was on the back foot at the start, but she is trying to be completely in control of Nia Jax. But there's Jax is just pure strength with that spine buster.
Sort of a release spine buster thing. That didn't look pretty.
She just let Winter fall to the mat. Nia Jax wants to show that she is knocking on the door of that women's championship. She wants to get her hands on it as well. And she maybe wants in when it comes to the talk of the most dominant woman in this division.
You know, as far as we know, maybe Nia Jax, this is her idea. You know, just lay low, like she has been. And then...
wait her time type thing.
Mm-hmm. Sort of, you know, once the two women at top are tired, easy pickings.
Look at the strength there of Winter, though, to hit that. She is able to go all out from start to end. Big time leg drop cover on Nia Jax. I'm not too sure how that was a rope break, but okay.
It's a lot of athleticism. I mean, going this long against a woman this big and still being able to run that fast. Props.
Like descent into the ropes there, and of course, come this Sunday, that'll be as legal as a collar and elbow tie-up. And Nia Jax there with more strength being shown. Double-handed choke slam. Winter is showing some signs of problems here. Maybe she did bite off more than she could chew.
That looked like a discus women's slap. Never seen that before.
And another headbutt, though, for good measure. And it says something when you can make a Samoan as hard-headed as they are fall to them out with a headbutt. Winter into the cover here. Nia Jax powering out. Oh, look at this now by Winter. She's getting a bit desperate. She's trying to think through anything. She's trying to put Nia Jax off her game, rolling her up here. Jax will kick out at 2.
Well, that just kind of strikes me as odd. How you would take on this the biggest woman in the division to sort of prove yourself in a sense, and then she's trying to cheat.
Jax may have something powerful in mind here, just dumping her on her face. Whatever it took to try and pull her off a game plan. Well, Nia Jax only has one game plan, and that is raw power and raw strength right from the bell sounded to start this match and the bell sounded to end it. Winter though with the reversal there. She is still proving her value ahead of this Sunday, and a big takedown, big Luthez, and Nia Jax unable to cover up there to those huge, powerful strikes.
You can see Winter kind of tired there, though. You got to think if that's going to play a factor.
The two-time women's champion looking to make it 3 this Sunday, and she may also looking for a victory here. Winter's Wrath connects. And into the cover on Nia Jax. That will end it. And could that be the move that ends Nikki Cross's reign as women's champion this Sunday?
Not what I expected, but surely it was frightening. You know.
Winter, oh, she's not done. She is not done. Nikki Cross ain't here to take a beating, so Nia Jax will be the scapegoat instead. Defenseless Nia Jax after being laid out and DDT'd on the outside.
Definitely shades of what I was talking about when this match started. Winter having to prove that she is the alpha female.
And once more with Jax up in her hands, Winter's Wrath. Down goes Nia Jax. Winter more than sent her message with that one. And something uncharacteristic for her is taking a microphone and starting to speak with it. And she is rubbing in the fact that Nikki Cross ain't here tonight and believing that that she, you know, much the same as Bobby Fish earlier, she is better than everyone else. Look at the complete lack. There's not even a hint of anywhere near respect, not only towards Nikki Cross, but to any woman who opposes her on the SmackDown roster. Talking about dominating this division twice, making it 3rd time's the charm, and calling Nikki Cross nothing more than a puppet on a string.
You know, I must say, I definitely see the parallels between her and Bobby Fish.
Hang on, I hate to interrupt you, but right now, before we go into our main event, we're going backstage. The insanity continues on SmackDown here, because we've got Roman Reigns attacking Kenny Omega now. Just when we thought we'd have a bit of time to breathe before the main event, there is none. Roman Reigns going right after the champion.
I gotta give it a SmackDown. It's been action all night in a very unexpected way.
Roman Reigns clearly not too happy with with Kenny Omega's win over Rusev earlier, and is trying to make sure, much in the same way as we saw with Kevin Owens and Kyle O'Reilly, that Omega will not stand a chance of making it to this Sunday, just throwing him into anything in front of him.
Omega really not having much room to counter. Just, hey, he's not.
Oh, God, he is not. No, Roman Reigns one-upping an apron powerbomb onto the desk.
Worked so hard it didn't even break.
Kenny Omega just got laid out by Roman Reigns, and he's proud of it. This is more than enough. Someone needs to get involved and try and stop this. This is not needed.
Omega's back gotta be feeling like crushed bone and...
He's got nothing. Kenny Omega can't even bring himself to stand up, and that's just how Roman Reigns likes it. Reigns in position now with a spear to Omega.
Right onto the cold concrete floor.
Roman Reigns looks set to take one thing away from Kenny Omega this Sunday, and it's the Intercontinental Championship. By hook or crook, he will make sure that Omega won't stand. But oh my God, the action-packed night of SmackDown, well, it just found a new level. It just kicked it up another gear, because here's Brock Lesnar.
What a man.
An absolute, well, there is no other word for it, just a beast that is Brock Lesnar. Comes towards the ring here tonight to do battle with CM Punk.
So, I'll be transparent, not too familiar with SmackDown in general, right? So, what are you going to say that's going to convince me that a man like CM Punk can stand toe-to-toe with this 110% beefcake?
Well, I'll tell you. Because at Battleground, CM Punk beat Brock Lesnar.
Was there any hijinks?
I remember it being a bit of a surprise win, but he still beat the Beast. He didn't cheat. He didn't use a weapon. If he did use a weapon, it was no DQ, so it was allowed. But he beat the Beast.
Hot damn. I think that's all I need.
Now here tonight, CM Punk just days away. He wanted a fight. Much the same as War Machine earlier. He wanted a battle. And a battle he's got. But look at the way the Dangerous Alliance have set themselves up heading into this Sunday. Kenny Omega left laying out in the back. CM Punk has to fight Brock Lesnar. Fish and Reigns basically getting the night off. I'm not calling bias because it isn't really. It's a smart game plan by Paul Heyman. But something smells, no pun intended, a little bit fishy when it comes to it.
Right, and a theme I'm not really getting tonight is, I guess I just can't see it from their perspective. These big matches, these big brawls happening so close to the pay-per-view. This stuff is boiling, and it really makes you think how you can go in 100% by the time it rolls around.
Well, I think SmackDown, I don't think anyone on SmackDown Live was anticipating it to go this way. It had been a majority of calm heading into this Sunday, but this week has just gone. It has just gone out the window. The usual SmackDown Live recipe of, you have those moments where you get those big things happening, but it's a lot of wrestling more often now. It's the wrestling that drives into the pay-per-view. Tonight has just been anything but. I mean, you look, we had Kevin Owens starting off the show doing what he did. We had War Machine being laid out by the Bucks. We just had Roman Reigns and Kenny Omega backstage. This is not usually the SmackDown way heading into this final show. It's almost as if they want to make it better than anything that anyone's seen all year.
Everything just seems to be sort of out of balance. The SmackDown then.
Yes, this is completely random to say the least, and to see a match, oh my god, here we go, get counting!
Uno. And I just, even if he has beat him before, it just, seeing it feels different than hearing about it, you know?
CM Punk right now, he had a surefire start, but Brock Lesnar just starting to have his way now. The Beast getting fired up, and look at this. Punk trying to cover up from these hard strikes. There's no protecting yourself against the Beast. You can only hold out for as long as you can hope for, really.
It's plain to see there are no strings attached to Brock Lesnar. There's no gimmick. It's just strength. It's just power.
This is a man who despises the person who CM Punk is facing this Sunday, and Bobby Fish. Despises the Dangerous Alliance, but will do this match tonight just because he gets to beat someone up.
And from my understanding, Lesnar and Fish have faced off before, correct?
Yes, it was Bobby Fish who beat Lesnar to win the title, and it was Bobby Fish who beat Lesnar to crown day number 365 as WWE Champion. The first one was hardly fair. The second one was Fish beating Brock simply because he just could, which was a huge shocker.
That's insane. It's insane hearing about anybody who could even get Brock Lesnar on the floor.
CM Punk right now is giving it his all. This is going to wear out the man before this Sunday, but this is what Punk wants to prove. The four-time world champion wants to show that he can hang with the best and then go into this Sunday and still walk out as the WWE champion. And Punk is doing a good job of that right now. Knee in the corner. No, Lesnar with a huge counter there sends him on his way.
Almost throwing Punk on his neck.
Almost threw him from one side of the ring to the other there. That was a nasty landing for Punk, and Punk now trying to slow it down. Getting his arms wrapped around the huge neck there of Brock Lesnar.
one thing you can see here is that Punk can slow it down and he can occasionally hold the Beast at bay, but when Lesnar gets his shots in, they're strong, they're hard, and they matter.
Every move that Lesnar hits is with a purpose. Lesnar just standing in position and watching Punk get up to his feet, enjoying every oh my god, no!
Already.
Lesnar could be looking to close in on a big win. The F5!
F5.
And maybe revenge for Battleground. There's 2, and Punk kicks out.
It almost seems like Lesnar's in cruise control, and Punk really needs to shift into some other gear, because what he's doing now isn't working.
Oh, there's a big time counter though by Punk, creating some room between him and Lesnar, room that Punk needed.
Oh, if I were Punk...
it is short-lived to say the least. Look at this. Back to square one for Lesnar. The hard strikes into the ring pole now for... Oh, everything that Lesnar hits is just worse because Lesnar's doing it.
You almost have to think if Punk is off his game tonight.
Oh my god. No, he is not off his game. The Beast has come out to play. He's come out to hunt and suplex City on the outside. The third German suplex.
And that makes about 4 in this match total.
I think it might be 5 even. I think he hit a suplex when we were in the middle of talking about something. Right up to 8 here, and look at this. Punk is still going here.
To be fair, I'd say you get lost in there around 2.
I think you're woozy by 2, and you're basically out of it by about 15. You know, it's not like you're out of it as in you can come back. No, you're just unconscious. The stretch is on its way.
Punk somehow.
Whoa, Punk!
Oh, wow.
From out of the blue! Go to sleep to the Beast!
Do you think that's going to be it, though?
No. If one F5 couldn't finish Punk, one won't finish Brock. Into the cover here on Brock.
2.
And he kicks out at 2.
There was no way.
Punk did not want that. He did not need that ahead of this Sunday. But he wanted to fight the Beast, and now, well, he's got to try and pay his dues, really.
Although, that was kind of what I was getting at earlier, that Punk needs to keep bringing out those big moves. I think that's the only way he's going to conquer the Beast tonight.
If he keeps bringing them out, then he risks wearing himself out, and he's got to try and play a tactical game here, and that's the last thing you want to play against Brock Lesnar. Look at this now. He puts Punk up on the top rope. Doesn't even think about doing a move. He just wanted to see more people. He just wanted to see so everyone could see him punching into him. And we've had a trip to Suplex City. Now we're going to go a bit more in-depth with a trip to Powerbomb Plaza here. The triple power bombs to CM Punk.
3, and you see how some people, their finisher alone is just 1 power bomb.
His is 3, and that doesn't even finish the match here because Punk is still standing. Punk is still fighting. This is why these two men are a perfect fit for one another. Their flat-out refusal to give up fighting the other. The crowd is loving it here for Backlash as these two men engage in a brawl here, back and forth. And there's Fish! Fish has come into play, spoiler!
It was a ruse. He was almost making it seem like he wasn't going to be here for the rest of the night.
Bobby Fish sends Brock Lesnar on his way and leaves himself alone in the ring now with the #1 contender to his WWE title.
The only thing that comes to mind is that Fish knows what he's doing. The more damage he does tonight, the less damage he has to do Sunday.
This is almost a Bobby Fish game plan. This is a Paul Heyman game plan through and through. And Bobby Fish is acting on it, but Bobby Fish is paying for it. Punk fighting back with the Bulldog.
Whoa. A reversal
Fish,
almost out of nowhere.
Fish may well pay for it here. Punk has him up.
And it's going to be one for your troubles.
That could well be this Sunday. Is CM Punk closing in on the 5th WWE Championship as he holds the title in his hand. The Beast is back! The Beast is back!
He wasn't willing to let this finish off.
Lesnar isn't done with Punk just yet. A German suplex from the second rope.
More convenient call for one for your troubles. Might as well call that 7.
Brock Lesnar was not too pleased about the match ending when it did. Lesnar now with another trip to Suplex City in mind for the number 1 contender.
2. And going down with the 3rd one. That's hard to watch.
Lesnar is looking to lay out the number 1 contender here. Fish is on the outside. He ain't getting up. And I don't think CM Punk will either. The F5 nails again. And Brock Lesnar stands tall.
Lesnar got what he came here for. Holding his hands up at the end of the night.
Hang on. You may have to keep filling time because I'm getting word through from the Smackdown committee right now. Oh, it is big news. They want to act immediately, and they have. The main event of this Sunday has changed. Now, Bobby Fish will defend his championship against CM Punk and Brock Lesnar.
Oh.
Now, Backlash is cannot miss for the WWE Championship. Fish is back up against the wall. The Beast and the Best meet Bobby Fish. Do not miss Backlash.